fall. It is time to fall in love with the mountains of North Georgia. I don't know if you noticed out in your yard, but there are leaves falling. There's a lot of traffic coming, and the apples are picking, and that means it's time to fall in love with North Georgia. Tell you what I'd like to fall in love with, a little bit cooler temperatures. I dressed Saturday thinking it was really fall, and I burned up all day long. Then yesterday I did exactly the opposite, and I dressed for summer because I figured it out. It was 90 degrees. It was hot. It was hot. But I hope you had a great, great weekend. A lot of stuff going on, and I can tell you now, I've officially declared that Monday is the worst day for traffic on 515 North. I don't know what it means, but it means this morning it was jam-packed. It was like, you know how you're canning and you get that jar as tight as you could get it? This road was as tight with cars as you could get it. It's crazy. It's crazy. But it was working folks. It was trucks with ladders on them. It was trucks with lumber on them. It's working folks. So we got to work. It's Monday through Friday. We got to work. So let's do it. Guess what I'm going to do Thursday? I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Do you see this? I'm going to see J.D. Vance. I'm going to see J.D. Vance. That's my boy. That's my vice presidential candidate. I'm going to Flowery Branch to see J.D. Vance. I'm very, very, very excited about it. I'm just kind of like, woo, over the top excited. And I told Melinda we're going to get over there and try to get there early. Don't know what time we'll get there. May have to get up at daylight 30. But we're going to try to get there early, and it's going to be a fun time. This young man is pumped up, positive, doesn't use teleprompters, knows what he's talking about, and I just love him. And he's a hillbilly, so you know I love him more for that. He's an educated hillbilly. He's not like me. He's not, you know, my degree is in common sense. So guess what's happening, y'all, very, very soon? You see this? The Georgia Mountain Fair. The Fall Festival is coming. The Georgia Mountain Fair Fall Festival starts on Thursday, October the 10th, the carnival rides start, and on Friday, the Pioneer Village, the arts and crafts, the exhibit hall opens. And then we will be having music by Dylan Scott. And then on Saturday, the Pioneer Village, arts and crafts, exhibit hall, and Joe Nichols will be in concert. And then, oh, I love it, Sunday is the day they have gospel music. So on Sunday, October the 13th, they will be having gospel music. They'll be having crafts in the exhibit hall. They have an interfaith worship service, which is really cool, at 11 a.m. I've been to those. And it's just going to be a fun week. And you got to get out and do something about it. Y'all want to be there. I guarantee you want to be there. And it's the Georgia Mountain Fair Fall Festival in Hiawassee. And today we're going to talk about a lot of other places that you can be falling in love with in North Georgia. And it starts with Ball Ground Rocks. We're going to start on the south end and we're going to go to the north end. So we've got Ball Ground Rocks, then we've got the Georgia Marble Festival, then we got the Talking Rock Festival, then we got the Apple Festival coming on up to Ellijay. Then we go to Blairsburg for the Sorghum Festival. And then, of course, you go to Georgia, the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds. And you get up there and you just, these are a daycation, a staycation, a camping site. If you want camping sites, you're probably too late. There's probably nothing available, but you can check out the internet and see. But before you come to Ball Ground, go by Kegel's. Kegel's Dairy Farm has a whole lot of stuff going on, and we're going to be showing y'all some pictures of all the things happening in North Georgia. But we're also going to show you something that's kind of special to me because, you know, right now Xana makes the 6th generation of us, like 6 of us, from Granny to Mama to me to Angela to Tori, and then Ansley is Dawn's child, so she's a granddaughter, and then 6 would be great-grandchild Xana. Now, isn't that crazy? 6 generations? Oh my gosh. And yesterday was Mama's birthday, so we had to, I had to think about it. And so I started thinking about stuff, and then I started crying, and then I started getting happy because then I thought of all the things they taught me. Then I got sad again, and I thought about it, and I wanted to share something with y'all. I don't know why that picture's doing what it's doing, but I have started this diet thing. It's not a diet, it's a health kick. I'm trying to live long. And so I started eating all these mixed greens. And so if my cheeks start turning green, y'all, you will know, because 5 days a week, I fix myself a salad and I use all kinds of mixed greens. But let me tell you about the mixed greens. I get them on sale at Ingles. I go and I buy the ones that are on sale. I refuse to buy the ones that are regular price because I buy that organic stuff and it's too expensive. So I wait till they reduce it, and then I buy it, and I make me these salads, and I just put healthy stuff. I put like cranberries and sunflower seeds and a few nuts and pickles. I started putting pickles because I've been having really, really bad leg cramps. I don't know what is up with my leg cramps, but Lord have mercy. Old age, maybe. I know one of y'all hollered old age. I know, I'm getting old, but I can't help it. Well, that beats the alternative, so. But I've started eating pickles. Now, we got to talk about this. We've got to talk about that picture. You see that corned beef hash on there? Do you know how much a can of corned beef hash is now? It is so ridiculous. It used to be 89 cents. It is now $3.29. I only buy it when it's on sale, and I buy as many as I have left when it's on sale, and it's usually on sale for $2.99. Whoopie-doo. But is that not crazy? But you see that Aunt Jemima bottle? That's not Aunt Jemima syrup in that bottle. That's a bottle that I kept when that crazy company changed the name to another name and took out poor old Aunt Jemima. Well, I loved her, and I loved eating breakfast with her. So now I buy another brand of syrup. I don't buy their brand, but I pour it in my Aunt Jemima bottle so I feel comfort while I'm sitting there eating with that lady. She's been part of my table for over 65 years. Why would you take her away from my table? That's so stupid. All these, people come up with some dumb stuff, This, I promised the little butcher at Ingles, I will give Ingles a shout out for this bacon. I only buy the bacon on sale. It is Ingles Premium Cut Select. I love it. I'm not going to say that name that it's better than, but I will tell you I like it better than that big expensive name that I used to buy all the time. It is so good. It cooks up great. And I love it. And then you make you a pan of biscuits to go with it. And then you make you a big old thing of gravy. And then, if you're smart, you don't look at the calorie content, because then you wouldn't eat 2 biscuits. But some days you just want 2 biscuits. So, just suck it up and deal with it. Take you a long walk around the building or something. Now, teaching people to make gravy is a whole nother thing. You can show them, you can explain it, you can do it over and over and over. And sometimes folks just don't get it. It's the simplest thing in the world. It is the simplest thing in the world. But I've tried to teach so many people to make gravy, and they're just like, well, how do you know when it's right? Because I don't measure anything with gravy. I have my fat in there, whether it be bacon or whatever, and you just don't measure it. Now, guess who won another tournament this weekend? But guess who, as always, gave back to the community? The Fountain Boys provided supper for all the people at the event, because they cooked up catfish, and they cooked up a whole bunch of catfish. So to those Jasper, Georgia boys that we love, the Fountain Twins, they won again. They're always giving back, and they had a fishing rodeo, fishing tournament for kids, and I thought that was the coolest thing. And of course the boys were involved in it. They love giving away fishing poles. They love sharing what they love with children. And that's part of it. If you do well in life, I think the Lord looks down and says, hey, you're doing pretty good. You better give some of it back, or I'll take it back from you. So you might think about how you treat other people. If you're doing well, don't sit up there on that pedestal and act like you can't give back. Now, this starts our generations. There's me. We're doing a little whop-sided because I can't remember where Mama's picture is and where Granny's picture is. But when you look at 5 generations of us, there's my granny. That's my idol in the whole world. That's my precious, precious granny who taught me to make biscuits, but her hands never got as gommed up with the dough as mine do. love that lady and miss her so much. And this weekend was just, I guess because it was Mama's birthday. Now that's, you know, me and Vicky out partying with the Trump gang. Of course we are. That was a while back, but yeah, we had, we're partying with the Trump folks. Now this is one of our generations. And I said when I was looking at these pictures yesterday, 3 of our generations are in heaven. And so I guess when so many people that you love are in heaven, it makes going to heaven a little bit sweeter. But I think about all the time Mama and Angela up there running heaven, and I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I don't know if the Lord has had to tell Mama just now, Hazel, that's not the way we're going to do it. I don't know. And there's Tori, and she was running and raising money for suicide prevention in honor of her mom. And that's what it's about, you know, that's what it's about. We remember those that we lost, and we honor those that we love. And there's my mama, and it was her birthday yesterday, and she would be 94 years old. That is so weird to me, that my mom would be 94, and man, she's been gone a long time, and I miss her so much. But it's one of those things, I still make Mama's spaghetti. I didn't forget some of the stuff she taught me. So now this is part of Cagle Dairy Farm. They have a really cool pumpkin patch and corn maze and lots of things to do down in Canton. Check it out. It is much easier to go there than it is to go up and sit on 136 or sit on 52 East in the traffic. So you might think about starting your venture at Cagle's Farm down in Holly Springs, Georgia. But it is really neat, convenient, easy to get to, and if you live in Ball Ground, it's really easy to get to. So, and there's our #1 Trump voter of the day. That is Mr. David Byers, and he is sporting his Trump hat, and he says, I am making America great again by voting for Donald Trump. So I love David, and he and Jenny are 2 of the finest folks ever, and love them to death. So yay, yay. Today's going to be a day of looking back, because I've been thinking a lot about loving people and how many people we don't realize what they mean to us until they're gone. And when I was looking this weekend at Mama's pictures and Granny's pictures, and I was standing at the office fixing me a salad, and I just busted out in tears, and I thought, oh my gosh, I hadn't done this in a while. And I just thought, we need to tell people we love them while they're still here. So we're going to send some love to a very, very special couple. It's funny because when I met Lucille, I remember, I think I met her the first time at a Historical Society meeting a long time ago, and I just was really touched by how she was the epitome of a Southern belle. She was just that Southern belle. And so the more I learned about her, the more I learned about how she loved teaching children, educating, giving kids common sense. And then I found out about her love story, and so we're going to share their love story with you today. But first, I want to do a Bible verse, and I got to get my phone because my buddy Daryl sent it to me. And I just thought this was an appropriate Bible verse, first of all, for today's world, because today's world, I don't know if y'all have noticed, but it's in a shambles. And this is John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And I think the reason the world is in the mess it's in today is we forgot about God. We forgot about who told us what to do and who told us how to live our lives. Sometimes we forget it. And sometimes we forget it when we get cut off in traffic. Sometimes we forget it when something goes wrong, and sometimes we forget it. But Lucille and James Rich never forgot their love of God and their love of each other, and they have been married over 68 years now and have been in love for 68 years. So we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to share a little bit of the love story of 2 very, very special people. And when you look at how do you do it, how do you stay together and honor, obey, and trust for over 68 years, I bet they can tell us.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time, and delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy taught him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
He's loose. He's across the 40 to the 50. It's a foot race to the end zone.
Keep it. He's got a little bit of running room. Hops over a defender, picks up the first down.
There he goes up the middle. He'll be cut down at the 20.
Is into the end zone for a Fannin Rebel score.
Catches it in stride. He'll go to the end zone.
Breaks the tackle. Touchdown.
See us anytime you can.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
We are back and we're visiting with James and Lucille Rich, sweethearts of how many years?
66, almost 67 years.
Almost 67. Miss Lucille, can you talk about some of your friends and the memories you have of Ball Ground? And then we're also going to talk about the Historical Society and how it's very, very important to maintain the history of Ball Ground.
Right. Well, my best friend growing up was Betty Brackett. Mm-hmm. She had a brother named Eddie and a brother named Billy. And we were just, that hill behind where they lived, all the way up to the school, was our playground. Mm-hmm. Because we lived in a small house up at the pond.
Mm-hmm. That's no longer there, is it?
That's no longer there. Mm-hmm. But Betty lived there where Shorty lives. That was her childhood home.
Right.
And her grandfather, of course, was Calvin Farmer. Because Zone Lee was a farmer before she married. And they had a pony named Star, and we rode it all over Ball Ground. And we just knew everybody. I could go from house to house and tell you every person in every house. Wow. At that time.
Did y'all skate through Ball Ground one time?
Yes.
Yes, I heard about that.
We did.
Can you imagine skating through Ball Ground today? No. Now, the history of Ball Ground. How important was it for you to be instrumental in doing the Historical Society?
Well, as we worked on the school reunion, a lot of questions came up, especially from younger people. What happened? Where was this? When was that happen? So I said, well, let's just have a meeting, a historical meeting. And so I said, how many people will come? A few hands went up. So I said, where could we meet? And I think, Jenny, are you the one that said we can meet at the City Hall? And we just said, well, let's just meet. So we met down at City Hall, and there was a small group of us, and they
And what
elected
year
me.
was that formed? What year?
What year, Sandra?
2012.
And they elected me the first president. And,
As rightly they should have.
and I was privileged and honored to serve as the first president.
Mm-hmm.
And Rebecca Ray was a good member of our group. And
Boy,
of course,
we miss her.
Yes, we miss
Goodness.
her. And of course, Sandra was part of our group. And Dr. Kitchens from Reinhardt University, he and I were old friends because I had done some work with Reinhardt.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got him interested in our group.
And
And
he's
I think he
actually-
still goes.
He's going to be our speaker Tuesday night.
Oh, wonderful.
He is, yes.
Wonderful.
He is, yes, he is.
Wonderful.
Now, historically, what are your favorite buildings that are still in Ball Ground? What are some of your favorites?
Favorite buildings that are still there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, James proposed to me in Ball Ground Ballpark.
Oh, I love that. How sweet is that?
And at that time, it didn't have a fence around it, and we were just pulled up in there, and he proposed.
And you said, of course.
And I said, no. I said, I'll think about it.
Oh.
Because I had one more year to go in school, and I wanted to finish school.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought about it, and I had some family issues. So after I thought about it, a couple of weeks or maybe 3, he was swinging me in a swing at Tate School.
Oh my gosh.
And I said, you remember what you asked me? And he said, mm-hmm. And I said, my answer's yes.
Precious.
So we got married.
How precious. And where did you first live?
We first lived out, what's that man's name that we rented that house from?
I don't remember.
Out there, you know where we lived at first? Out there by Kelly's. What was that place? Yeah, Garn Edwards. The Garn Edwards owned a little house.
Do you remember what you paid for rent?
$15.
$15. Wow.
And we hung wallpaper up in that house and just fixed it just right. And of course, James was still working for Dinsmore. He was making $25 a week.
Wow.
So when we got married, they raised him to 30. And Mr. Dinsmore helped us get all of our furniture.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He was a darling man,
Mm-hmm.
Glenn Dinsmore.
Yep. Senior. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Glenn Jr. is a pretty darling man too.
Yes, he
He's
is.
a sweetheart.
He was just a little boy back then.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? You know, when we think about this, does it seem like yesterday to you that all those things happened?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm so glad, I'm so thankful that I still remember it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank the Lord for good memories, sweet memories, precious memories.
Precious memories. Now, what about the community of Ball Ground as far as the population? The first time I remember going there, my grandmother and I went to Hubbard's store. I was probably 17. What do you think the population was then, 60 years ago? What was the population of Ball Ground? When did it start growing?
It grew very slowly for a lot of years.
Mm-hmm.
It has recently just burst.
Do you know what people love about Ball Ground? We have the greatest lifestyle. Mm-hmm. You can walk to town. You can take your kids with you.
Right.
You can leave your door unlocked. Don't tell anybody, but
Right.
you can.
But you can't.
It is such a great community still today.
Right.
So we truly are preserving the past and embracing the future.
That's wonderful.
What do you want to see happen in Ball Ground today?
I would like for it to remain a walking community.
That's so important to us. So important. Now, do you know about the 2 new murals that went up this weekend in Ball Ground?
No.
You're going to be so proud of them. One of them is honoring Coca-Cola, which was a business in Ball Ground that is no longer there.
Right.
And the other one is honoring the Cherokee, and it is a beautiful, beautiful mural. As a teacher, are there things about Ball Ground that you wish students knew today? Are they teaching local history about the history of the Cherokee in Ball Ground? Are they teaching that? Did you teach that?
I'm not sure I did.
Did you?
Just because I'm a native of Ball Ground, see, so
Right.
it just fit in with. Yes, I taught it. Now I was a Georgia history teacher. At the 8th grade level, I taught Georgia history as well as English and reading.
And do you still keep in touch with your students?
Some of them,
Yeah.
some of them I do.
Yeah.
Some of them I'm Facebook friends with.
How many years did you teach?
30 years. And then I taught 3 years of Georgia pre-K.
That's amazing. Now, in retirement, are you living your dream because you are still together and you're both relatively healthy?
Right.
Yeah.
We recently moved here into this, this is assisted living, but it's, we're still individual, you know. But I feel like God just opened a door. I believe in going through the doors that God opens. And years ago, a teacher of mine at Cherokee High School, Ms. Yarborough, she was Georgia's Teacher of the Year for the state. And someone asked her at a meeting I attended, what do you attribute your success? And she said, I went through every door that God opened. And so that just stuck with me. So when James became frail and the house became too much for me, and the preparing of the meals and the cleaning and the changing of the beds, all of that, I felt like God just opened a door and said, Lucille, go forward. And someone said, Lucille, are you sad? And I said, no, I'm rejoicing because God opened the door. And we brought our own furniture.
This looks like we walked into your home.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, we couldn't bring but a third, a fourth, a fifth, an eighth of it. The kids helped us move, our children helped us move, and our grandchildren. And then they went back and got what they wanted, and they're still, they keep saying, Mom, I can't believe you had all this stuff. I'm a pack rat.
Yeah. Now let's talk a little bit about, you were talking earlier about Zona Lee and the fact that your daughter lived in the Calvin Farmer house when she left home. Talk about that a little bit.
Tammy wanted to be out on her own after she graduated high school, but I couldn't quite let her go to the big city. But Zona Lee was a lifelong friend of mine, and she treated me just like she treated Betty. She just treated me like her daughter. And she had that apartment for rent, and
do you remember how much it rented for?
Goodness, I think it was just $15 a month. I don't remember for sure, but it was almost nothing because Tammy was just working as a dental assistant and didn't make much. And but she and Kim rented that upstairs, and they talked about it so much.
Did you have happy memories in that home with Zona Lee?
Yes, many happy memories. Zona Lee was a good cook, and I ate many meals with them.
I've heard rumors about her deviled eggs. Everybody said she did amazing deviled eggs. Yeah.
She was a good cook.
Yeah. Do you miss those old friends?
I do miss my old friends. Do you know almost all my old friends are dead? Because I'm 84.
Well, Betty was that bright and shining light for everybody. And when she lost her battle with cancer, it was just almost unbelievable, because you could ride by and she'd be sitting in that window and throw up her hand and smile, and just what a joy to know. I think that's why it was important to us to capture time with the two of you, because as you celebrate, now when is your anniversary?
July the 7th.
So July the 7th this year, you will celebrate 67 years.
Yes.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Thank you for talking to us today. And is there anything about Ball Ground you'd like to share that you want people to continue to do? Is there something you can encourage? What do you see for the future of the history of Ball Ground?
I think the future's good. I think the Ball Ground Garden Club is doing a lot of good work in Ball Ground. And the Botanical Garden is a great asset. And the Historical Society should thrive and grow, because after all, yesterday is our history now.
That's right.
So your history is what's already happened. So I would love to see it continue.
Well, our goal is to grow the Historical Society, because it's, I hate to say it, but we're that generation that we're going to be gone. And we want to encourage younger people to join. And
Exactly.
It's been kind of hard. So can you give us some advice? What can we do to grow the Historical Society? Is there a campaign you would do? Something that we need to know?
Well, something along the line of let's have a party for Ball Ground or something, to get people together, and then let people that can speak get them fired up, you know.
I think that's important. Yeah. And we are losing so many of those. And I think Raymond Cheshire lives here where you do,
Yes,
doesn't he?
he does.
Yeah, there's so many precious people from Ball Ground that we want to talk to, and I can't say thank you enough for doing this. I know that it's a precious time for y'all, and in these last years, and enjoying every minute of it. And I want to say a happy early anniversary.
Well, thank you.
That's a very special year, isn't it? So happy, very special, happy early anniversary. Thank you, James, for doing this. I appreciate it both. Okay, you know what? Surprise, we're back, because we thought of something that's very, very important to the Historical Society, and that's Georgia Marble. And I understand that there's a little history with the Lincoln Memorial and your family.
Yes, James' dad was a long time worker, a polisher at the Georgia Marble Company in Nelson, and he worked on that memorial.
The Lincoln Memorial.
The Lincoln Memorial.
Wow. Now, Lucille, I wonder, I've heard, I know that we've made deliveries to New York City with marble. So even in New York City, y'all think about that. In New York City, people are walking on pieces of Georgia marble in downtown Manhattan. Isn't that amazing? It's amazing.
And Ingram Trucking, that was so important to Ball Ground, and they hauled marble near and far.
Right. And that is truly a piece of Georgia history, and certainly of Ball Ground history and Nelson history. And the train, we were talking earlier today about the train and how important the train was to move that marble here and there and yonder, and going all the way into Marietta with it. And then to think about the trucking industry and hauling tons and tons and tons out of there. I wonder how many tons have been mined from Georgia marble. Wouldn't it be amazing to hear a number?
To hear that?
Yeah. Now, did James ever work in the mines, or just his dad?
James didn't work in the mines. He worked in the company there at Nelson.
It is still there today.
It's still there today.
It's still there today.
Doing a little bit of things,
And doing some amazing engraving. They're doing some amazing, Tim Hyde is one of their talented engravers. Just amazing work. So, well, I'm glad we came back and talked about this, because this Tuesday night, Dr. Kitchens is going to talk about the Lincoln Memorial and the fact that it is Georgia marble. So
right, it is.
Thank you again. Thanks, y'all. Okay, y'all, you know those stories that don't end? Well, we got a little something else, and I want to share this because I never had the pleasure or the joy of meeting this man. But can you tell me a story about somebody that you thought was a pretty good guy?
Yes. Roy D. Haynes. He was later mayor of Ball Ground, but before he was ever mayor, he was the stepfather to my best friend, Betty Brackett. And on Saturdays, Betty and I would walk to town. We were like in maybe the 5th grade. And he would give Betty a quarter, and with that quarter, she could buy a hot dog at Dale Graf's restaurant. She could buy a hot dog, a pack of potato chips, and a Coca-Cola. And he couldn't stand for me to walk along with her and not have a quarter myself. So he said, now, you just take this quarter, and he would give me a quarter every Saturday.
How precious.
And I have told those Haynes children how much that meant to me. That was the first Coke I ever had.
Well, I know those Haynes children, and they must be a combination of their parents, because they're pretty good folks.
Hey, that mini concert goes out to all you lovebirds who have been married over 50 years, and you made it, and you hadn't choked each other out, and you're still smiling. And I love the way precious Lucille kept reaching over there to pat James. How precious, how precious, how precious. What precious memories, what a precious moment. So share today with somebody you love and say, hey, I want you to see this music by Linda Autry because it just lifts your spirits. Now, you know, when we look back, there's always somebody that we're saying, I wish I'd told them this, I wish I'd told them that, I wish I'd said this about them. There's going to be somebody in your life that after they're gone, you're like, wow, I should have done things differently. I should have remembered how kind they were. I should have done something different. As we look at October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we all look at Betty Brackett Jordan, and we look at the life that she lived and what a great example she was. And we're going to share a little bit of her on Wednesday. Because when we think about our days today, my days wouldn't be the same if my grandmother hadn't been kind and good and taught me things. And my days wouldn't be the same if my mother hadn't been independent. Oh my, was she independent and taught me a bit of independence. All our days are kind of put together because of somebody who made an impression on us. Well, somebody who made an impression on me was a sweet, sweet lady. We went to visit her one day, and we pulled up, and she was actually sitting inside her house watching us on television. We brought her to the studio, and we did a few songs with her, and we had no idea at that time it was the beginning of her battling Alzheimer's. So today, here's a little tribute to a very special lady who's gone on to be with the Lord.
space told me more than the games he played. Talked about my Smoky Mountain memories, pretty girl from Tennessee. I was such a fool to leave her all alone. I think about her in my dreams and wonder if she thinks of me. I'll always hold her close to me in my Smoky Mountain memories. So Mr. Player Fiddle, please play some mountain memories. I've been down a lonely road, so far from home, nothing left to hold on to. I made some plans, but they fell through. Now there's nothing left for me but my Smoky Mountain memories. Smoky Mountain memories about my home in Tennessee. Memories keep calling me home. Mountains rising in my soul, higher than the dreams I've known. I can't get away from all my Smoky Mountain memories. Talking about my Smoky Mountain memories. Misty mountain, rainbow sky, a faraway look in your eye. Tell me, have you had enough? Traffic jams and city stuff. Don't you think it's time to go where black bears climb and waters flow? Hummingbirds out on the deck, your feet propped up, and what the heck? You'll love how we live here in these mountains. Everything is gonna be alright, and we all wave hello here in these mountains. Life is good, we sleep well at night. It's alright, the mountain life. So plan a trip to Ellijay and see the bright red Georgia clay. From Notley down to Carter's Lake, all the memories to make. So much here for all to see, a land that is so dear to me. Welcome home to all your dreams, hot rod Fords and crystal streams. Now you love how we live here in these mountains. Everything is gonna be
Wow, what a great, great day to honor a couple like James and Lucille Rich and to hear her talk about her best friend Betty Brackett. And then we honor Miss Betty for the battle she fought against breast cancer. And then we go on to honor Sweet Marie, who fought a battle with Alzheimer's. It is crazy, y'all. We don't know what we're going to face tomorrow, but we know who does. And so if we trust him, accept that whatever is to be will be, we will make it through it. There are going to be days that you think you won't. And as winter is going to come upon us, we got to keep some good gospel music in our heart. We got to listen to some great piano music. And what a great gift to be able to give you a mini Linda Autry concert. That was awesome. So I hope that it encouraged you. It made your day feel really good. And a very special lady went to be with the Lord this week. Her name was Sylvia Johnson Cochran. And my sweet Angela called her Auntie Sylvia. She loved Auntie Sylvia. And maybe that's why I started crying. I just got to thinking about Angela and Auntie Sylvia. And they both loved purple. And they always hugged each other. And they just had such a special relationship, and now that relationship will start again in heaven. So we don't know when those people we love are going to be gone, but we can remember them, we can treasure them while they're here. So if you haven't been by to see James and Lucille, go by and see them, drop them a card, tell them, howdy, I saw you on ETC. And don't forget that everything we do on ETC, we then transfer and put it on YouTube. And you just go to Sherry Martin, CHERIE and then hit subscribe. Doesn't cost a penny to watch. You can go back and watch all the old programs we've done. A lot of memories, a lot of sweet moments, and a lot of folks who aren't with us anymore. So it's a great way to remember, and just remember those special moments. And for anybody who has any doubt, the reason we save those last two songs till the end, those are my two favorite. I hope y'all liked them, but Earl Thomas Conley wrote Smoky Mountain Memories. Love it, done by so many people, but love it, love that song. And then I was in the vehicle the day that we got a request for him to write this song about the mountains, and he said, I can't write a song about the mountains. Well, you just heard it. It's my favorite. So I hope that you enjoyed that tiny, tiny little Mr. Ellijay concert at the end. Have a great, great day, y'all. Do something for somebody else. Pick up the phone and call somebody and say, hey, I was just thinking about you. I'll see y'all again soon right here on ETC.